Welcome to Daily Meditation with Sangha Live.
Very good morning to each and every one of you, as well as good evening, good afternoon, and good middle of the night. Let's have the 2 quiet minutes together, and then we'll get our session underway. Let me make a 1 minute suggestion. Plenty of you go to committee meetings. Plenty of you are teaching in a variety of forms. Plenty of you are therapists, counselors, social workers, engaging in one-to-ones. My suggestion is, and therapists and more, to have a 1 or 2 minutes of silence before you begin. That allows the person, like you and I just did now, to settle down. Lots of movement from coming from place B to place A can go quiet. This increases the levels of receptivity. And if you have clients, if you have patients, the communication may be quite a bit deeper than somebody who's just hurried in and started speaking. All right, suggestion over. Let me just give a brief summary, first, second day, and then the theme of the third day. This will then be followed on with a guided meditation on the theme, with reference to the donations and your kind support, the short talk, and as George said, the question answers or responses in the question column or with the speaking. We're exploring karma. It's a key theme in these teachings, though admittedly not used very much. My view is a bit unfortunate. However, on the first day, we looked at 2 influential factors in relationship to karma, namely that which is healthy, non-harmful, wholesome, skillful, which gives support, either, so to speak, to oneself or to others, and preferably to both. We also looked at the unwholesome, unhealthy, reactive, unresolved, difficult movements of the mind, and that activity, that's the karma, is under the influence of habits, patterns, and repetition, both with the wholesome and the unwholesome. A common feature with both is the regularity of the use of I, me, and my. This would indicate to us, wow, I'm under the influence of repetition, the repeat, spiritual language, the rebirth of patterns, wholesome and unwholesome, and I, me, and my is arising a lot, or indirectly thinking about the other, but under the influence of the karma, trying to do a the good thing, trying to do the right thing, and as one example, or the reactivity, the fear, the confusion, the blame. Yesterday, we explored this vital movement from the most ordinary mind to the Buddhas there of intention, action, and result, and our relationship to each one to these three areas. Quite often the intention is emerging out of past outcomes, not always, past eventualities called the fruit, the consequences there. And out of that, quite often, the fresh intention comes. You know it is an intention, as was mentioned, because an intention means there is an activity. It is not an intention if there is no outcome. It was a good idea. It was a telling of yourself, I should do, I will do, I must do, I've got to start. It doesn't happen. In Dharma language, this is called a deluded mind. So we take an interest in the intention, interest in the activity, and interest in the outcome. Do not delude ourselves with the third one. The outcome is all about my responsibility. It's all about me. I'm in control of the outcome. It's a fiction and therefore another delusion. Their outcomes have many other factors, and I gave the small example. The student works very, very hard there to achieve good grades, but there is a dependency on the state of mind of the examiner, as a small example. So you need to be extremely clear of the intention, the movement, and the outcome. Now, and many areas. What is the relationship to that? What is the calm and stability required? What is the equanimity that's needed with certain kinds of outcome? The stability to stay steady despite the outcome, which is not the wishes, nor the expectations, nor the demands of the self. Those challenge us. This is life, not a picnic. And today, the exploration with you in the guided meditation, in the talk, and perhaps in some of your responses, is the fusion of the two. That means the fusion of karma in terms of simple language, good and bad, good and not good. And an indication, as mentioned to you, where there's karma, there will be a kind of, shall we say, excess of this I, me, and my. Either simple language, doing good, simple language, not doing good, doing something not healthy, not helpful, habitual, addictive, and so forth. And those two can get really mixed in together. And it takes some clarity to sort what from what there. And it takes a deeper clarity to cling and hold on to neither the good or the not good. To see in a completely fresh way without the self, the ego being center stage. And that's what we're moving through during these days, and specifically the last morning will focus on freedom from karma. Right, let's have a quiet moment or two together, and there'll be the guided meditation with the ongoing reflection. just sitting, enabling the whole being to settle, to rest. And there is the immediacy of the experience. There is the receptivity to, shall we call it, the non-personal. Stillness is not personal. Silence is not personal. This voice moving, so to speak, through the silence is also not personal. Going deeper, the range and variety of sensations in the body are not personal. Why? Because all of them are an object of interest. That which we attend to, like the silence, like the stillness, like the voice. And the same with the receptivity to the physical sensations, an object of interest. That which is an object of interest is not me, is not myself, is not who I am, to quote the Buddha. So there is a steadiness. It is not my steadiness. The steadiness is not a possession. There is steadiness. So the world of I and my is everyday language. I am not the body, an object of interest. It is not my steadiness, because the steadiness is not a possession. Giving us the opportunity to see the world, life, in fresh ways. Out of all of this comes movement. We can call it intentions. Sometimes developed, sometimes strong and immediate, and sometimes the fusion of the wholesome and the unwholesome, the good and the not good. Life is about the dynamic of relationships. You have a relationship, for example, with another person. In the relationship, acts of friendliness, clarity, warmth, kindness, listening, the virtues of the heart and mind, shall we say, are expressed through body language, through the voice, through the written word, through the kindness in the eyes, the giving of time to, and those thoughtful movements can get mixed in with the reactivities, fault finding, withdrawal, fearfulness, contraction, being judgmental, making demands upon. Two kinds of karma of the self. The doing good and the reactive view towards. Friend, partner, kids, employer, employees, clients, patients, therapists, politicians, religions, groups of people, strangers, friendly, unfriendly, goods, items, all coexist in our relationship too. Where are you vulnerable? Is it in the material world? Getting, receiving, making use of in a thoughtful, practical, aesthetic way? Or does it end up feeding into wanting more and more? Consuming more and more resources? Confusion, what I want or what I don't want. Things, meditation, spirituality, people, places, you name it. Where do you experience the collision of the good and the not good? Where is the vulnerability? We sometimes say in this world of the field of human experience, the good is the reaction because of the not good, the bad, the wicked, the evil, the irresponsible, the stupid, or whatever. I doubt it. It might be the other way around. The identification with the good, the idea of the good, the karma of the good, generates the problematic, the anger, the blame, the fault-finding, the wars, the conflicts, one side and the other. Think what they are doing, what we are doing is the side of the good, and the other, is the not good. It's the same thing happening in our everyday relationships. The projection of the good, the grasping of the good, sometimes placing ourselves as the good and the other as the not good, or the other way around. The building of the other up and the putting of ourselves down, the good and the not good, the whole baggage of karma. What are the signals, the indications of the problematic episodes of this fusion, this mixing of the good and the not good, the right and the wrong, or whatever? One sure sign is we can't see our way out of it. The experience of doubt, sometimes chronic, this or that or something else. What do I do? Or trying to be good and seeming to keep facing the not good. Can we find just enough calm? Just enough calm to perhaps see, in a way, not bound up with the karma of good and the not good, the wholesome and the unwholesome, the for and against, the taking of sides. To potentially find a completely fresh way of looking. Remaining minute. All right.
Today's podcast is an offering to you from our archive of freely available live daily classes. We make wisdom teachings and meditations as freely available as possible to as many people as wish to practice. You can help ensure we can continue to support a worldwide Sangha by leaving a review wherever you get your podcasts, by sharing this with someone who'd be interested, and by offering a small financial support at sangha.live/donate.